I was a teenager in the 90s when this story took place. The kind of revenge that sticks with you for life. Not because it was cruel or extreme, but because it was perfectly, satisfyingly petty. And it worked better than we could have ever imagined. Back then, PC gaming wasn't mainstream like it is today. There were no easy downloads, no Steam, no Game Pass, no digital anything. If you wanted a new game, you either bought the expensive boxed copy from a store, which had terrible selections in our small town, or, like me and my best friend, you ordered them by mail from abroad. These games weren't cheap. We saved up, pooled money, and traded between ourselves to make it semi-affordable. Copy protection was a nightmare, but we managed. Gaming, to us, wasn't just a hobby. It was an escape, a badge of honor. A currency in a world where teenage boys didn't have much else to show off besides how many hours they could clock on Doom, or how fast they could solve the puzzles in Monkey Island. Our little gaming circle wasn't big, but it was tight. We trusted each other. We swapped, we traded, and we respected the rules. The excitement of getting a new game, the hours spent exploring pixelated worlds, it gave us purpose during those awkward years. So when a new kid joined our class and casually mentioned that his uncle had stacks of PC games, way more than we had ever seen, we thought we had struck gold. A new trading partner. He could copy the games from his uncle's collection, and we could all share, swap, and expand our tiny little gaming circle. It felt like a win-win, or so we thought. We gave him our originals to copy, some of our most prized games at the time. The Settlers, Doom 2, Monkey Island, classics we'd carefully collected. In return, he handed us back corrupted floppy disks, sometimes missing files, sometimes disks that wouldn't even boot. Other times, the copy protection was missing entirely, making the game unplayable. And this wasn't a one-time mistake. Over months, it became clear. We hadn't received a single working game from this friend. Meanwhile, he had successfully stocked his collection with all of ours. Worse? Some of the originals he returned were scratched or damaged. That stung the most. These weren't just discs. They were hard-earned trophies of our patience and determination. We'd spent weeks saving up allowances, walking miles to reach shops, writing to distributors overseas. Losing them to someone's laziness or deceit felt like betrayal on another level. At first, we gave him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he didn't understand how to copy them properly. Maybe his uncle's collection wasn't as great as he claimed. But the truth became impossible to ignore. He wasn't just incompetent. He was using us, deliberately, mockingly, taking advantage of the fact we wanted to believe he was trustworthy. By then, we realized we'd been played. He had no intention of trading fairly. He just wanted our games, and he got them. We were furious, but we weren't sure what to do. Until one day, karma handed us the perfect opportunity. You have to remember, this was the early 90s, right after Freddie Mercury's death in 1991, and there were huge public campaigns about AIDS, safe sex, and homosexuality. These campaigns were everywhere: schools, TV, posters, especially in our conservative small-town Europe. And this kid? He came from a very strict Catholic family. His parents were old-school, judgmental, conservative in the worst way. And he himself wasn't shy about making homophobic remarks, including mocking me relentlessly because I was a Queen fan. What made it worse was the way he carried himself. He had this smugness, this false sense of superiority that rubbed everyone the wrong way. He acted like he was better because he had an in with his uncle's collection, like he was somehow more important because he could get games we couldn't. But he wasn't. He was just a thief wrapped in arrogance. So imagine our luck when our school attended a mandatory AIDS awareness event, hosted by a public health foundation. At the end, they handed out flyers, brochures, and free condoms. Yes, even back then, they were branded with the foundation's logo. And this is where the light bulb went off. You see, me and my friend, we were two of the only kids in school with a home computer and an inkjet printer. That was a big deal back then. So we put our skills to work. We drafted a letter, meticulously recreating the logo and layout of the AIDS Foundation stationery. It looked official, ridiculously official. We studied real examples of government letters to get the wording, tone, and formatting just right. We printed it on good paper, even added a mock signature at the bottom. Attention to detail was everything. The letter read something like this: Dear First Name, thank you for your recent letter. We understand it can be difficult to be open about your sexuality, and we appreciate the trust you've placed in our foundation following the event you attended with your class. Enclosed, you will find further reading materials which should answer many of your questions, along with complimentary condoms to help you practice safe sex at all times. Kind regards, fake name public outreach coordinator, fake address, real logo. We took all the flyers we'd gathered at the event. We added the condoms, just like the letter promised. Then, crucially, we mailed the package addressed not to him, but to Mr. Ka, last name, his father. Why? Because we knew exactly how his house worked. His father opened all the mail. We didn't have to wait long. Within days, we heard whispers. His mother? In tears. His father? Furious. This wasn't just some harmless prank in their eyes. To them, this was a scandal, a shameful secret exposed. They grounded him, interrogated him, accused him of hiding his sexuality. He was practically under house arrest for weeks. And this kid? He was losing his mind trying to figure out what had happened. He thought the letter was real, that someone, maybe us, had contacted the foundation in his name. He believed it. Hook, line, and sinker. He went through stages, first confusion, then panic, then shame, and finally, rage. He cornered us one day after school, eyes wild, demanding answers. Why did we do this? How? Who helped us? He was convinced there was some grand conspiracy at play. We played dumb, smiled, shrugged, let the tension hang thick in the air. Eventually, we couldn't help ourselves. We let a few clues slip, a few well-timed comments, a question here, a smirk there. He pieced it together, and when he finally confronted us furious, we confessed. Yes, we faked it. Yes, it was us. The fallout? A trip to the principal's office, a meeting with both sets of parents, a long, awkward explanation about why we thought this was justified, about the games, the lying, the months of deceit. And while we didn't walk out heroes, we also didn't walk out in trouble. Our parents knew we'd been wronged. His parents knew their kid was a liar. The principal, well, he probably wanted to be anywhere but in that meeting. He sighed, lectured us all about respect and boundaries, but I could see it in his eyes. Part of him thought it was hilarious. Weeks passed. His family cooled down, but not before his father doubled down on grounding him, cutting his allowance, restricting his computer access. Word got around school. People laughed behind his back. The self-proclaimed cool kid with the hookup was now the punchline of every joke. He never looked at us the same again. Gone was the smirk, the swagger. In its place? Resentment, sure. But also caution. He knew he'd been outplayed. And it stung. And us? We moved on. We found new ways to get games. We stopped trading with classmates altogether. We learned to trust fewer people. Our circle got smaller but tighter, more loyal. We focused on building our own collections, sourcing games from better connections, avoiding the pitfalls of relying on snakes in the grass. Years later, when social media became a thing and nostalgia groups popped up online, I saw his name once, in some random comment thread about old-school pranks. And all I could do was smile, because I knew deep down he remembered. It's been nearly 30 years. I've lived a full life since then. I've gotten revenge in other ways, at other times. But nothing has ever topped that moment. That prank. That satisfaction of knowing we'd finally gotten the last laugh. Because sometimes, karma just needs a little push and a postage stamp.